Hello viewers, a warm round of welcome to this very special program on the occasion of the 79th Independence Day of our country. We are here in the premises of St. Edmund's College, Shillong, and we are here to speak to a cross-section of youngsters, the youth, the students, the teachers who are going to tell to us today the significance of this day, what it really means to them as a youth, where do they think the country should progress, which are the areas that the country has progressed significantly, as well as which are the areas that the country needs to work much more ahead. We will also be speaking to them in the context of the freedom fighters from the region. What are the lessons that we can learn from them, and especially when it comes to women empowerment, etc., we do see a lot of scope for improvement as well. So today in this very special program, do stay on with us, because we will be speaking to the students, as I said, to the school students also of the higher secondary section of St. Edmund's School, Shillong. As you know, that this day is very significant. Every year it comes before us. We observe it sometimes just as a day to mark it as a holiday. But is there a deeper meaning, a deeper significance about this day? That is what we will be understanding about this day. And as I said, we are talking to the youth, the future of this country. We will be also later towards the end of this conversation with them, we will also be listening to a wonderful patriotic song. So stay on with us as we present to you today the college students and the school students of St. Edmund's College and School, presenting before you the special edition of the program on the 79th Independence Day of the country. So what are your thoughts, and as we are moving ahead to celebrate this day today?
The only word that comes to my mind about the 79th Independence Day of our country is the word perseverance. It is our country's persistence to push through any challenges that is faced before us. From the time of our independence back in 1947 with Prime Minister Nehru's speech of Tryst with Destiny, we have seen and faced countless challenges. Example like the war with our neighbors of 1947-48, 65, 71 and 99. And take up the BOP crisis of 1991, which led up to the opening up of our economy in the same year. And even our current stance in the ongoing tariff war under Prime Minister Modi. India has always remained persistent in her governance and has always upheld her core values that is enshrined to her in her constitution. It is most beautifully represented in a speech by our former Prime Minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, where he said, सट्टा का खेल तो चलता रहेगा, सरकारें आएंगी जाएंगी, पार्टियां बनेंगी बिगड़ेंगी, मगर ये देश रहना चाहिए, इस देश का लोकतंत्र अमर रहना चाहिए.
Wow, that is quite a summary actually, and I believe you're a student of history, because you've already given quite a historical background also of this day, right? The country has come a long way, isn't it, when it comes to having equal representation or equal opportunities for both men and women. Yet there are also certain facets which we have not, that equality is not still there, and so much more needs to be done. As a girl, as a young girl, aspiring so much for your future, what are your thoughts about this day, being a girl yourself, and what is it that you're hoping that this country would achieve in the long run, especially for girls and women like you?
Independence is really very important in everyone's life. For a girl or woman, it is to be free to make her own choices and to live a life the way she wants. And for me, as a girl, independence would be to be self-sufficient so that I don't have to depend on my parents as I grow older for my own needs and aspirations. And it would also mean to be freely and safely moving in public places wherever I want without the fear of getting discriminated or harassed at the same time. As an adult myself, I would have a broad vision towards the women upliftment in my society, and we as individuals should definitely come together to bring about changes in the overall women upliftment in the society. Firstly, I would say there should be safety measures as well as a proper legal system which ensures women's safety and protect them from any kinds of violence, and that education should be gender neutral, breaking old stereotypes and deep-rooted mindsets which often stops the women or the girls from attending schools and colleges, and also prevent them from achieving or towards their visions and goals. And I would say parents do play a crucial role in guiding us girls and supporting us in whichever career we choose. I would like to give an example here by myself. Coming from a sports background, where I pursue myself as a martial artist since 10 years from now, have always gained me confidence in whatever I do and to let me go forward and chase my dreams. And it was only possible because my parents were there for me always to support me. And now I can proudly say that I am a black belt martial artist who see a lot of dreams in the coming future, and that no ambitions is off limit because of gender. And in essence, I would say women upliftment does not only refers to legal and political rights which are being ensured to the women, but also it has to have social acceptance as well as emotional and economic support as well.
Absolutely, very well said. And having another girl with us, we are here in the Northeast. As you know, we are a multi-ethnic and a tribal society, right? So being a Northeasterner yourself, what is it that you're hoping that after the 79th or from now onwards, at least what more freedom or independence as women you think is required, especially for girls of today?
With regards to that question, as a woman myself, growing up in Shillong has been a privilege because when I was younger, my parents never restricted me from doing anything. So I grew up learning classical piano, singing, reading encyclopedias that really enlightened my mind. And I feel like many women around the country, they do not have that privilege because of what you can say, the vicious cycle of poverty. As an economics student, I can really put two and two together and see that, as long as women are not able to grasp opportunities, as long as they're not able to, say that, I'll go to the park today, because they have to worry about what food they're going to eat, how they're going to bring money for their family. Exactly,
Yeah.
economic emancipation. So I feel like after the 80th Independence Day, or maybe even now, from now onwards, that is something I would like to see. And how do we bring that about? We bring that about by empathy, through kindness, through love, through just caring for one another. Because just by saying, more economic opportunities, more employment opportunities, more income, more education, that is good. But it is not enough.
Okay, so we need more actions actually than
Exactly.
just a theory. We need it to
Exactly.
be followed practically.
Yes.
But then I have another question for you, and that is coming from the Northeast, we have a number of freedom fighters of the Northeast who have played, as we all know, very, very crucial role. They are known as known and unknown heroes. Tirot Singh, Kyang Nangba, Patokan Sangma of the state itself, and many more from the Northeast, from Assam. What are the lessons, do you think, even in this day of 2025, in this year, we can learn from these freedom fighters who have literally given up their life for the cause, for the sake of this country?
I will preface this by mentioning two of my favorite freedom fighters from the Northeast. One of them is Utirot Singh. He was a benevolent king of the Khasi Hills, and he was a very charitable man. He helped those who were poor. He cared for those who were downtrodden, and he ruled with wisdom beyond understanding. So when he fought for freedom, he didn't just fight against liberation from foreign rule. He fought for the peace that he fulfilled and promised time and time again in his kingdom. He fought for the rights of those who had no voice, and he fought once again to maintain the integrity and the culture of the Khasi Hills and of the people that he cared for. Secondly, we have my next favorite freedom fighter. Her name is Kapan Nonglat. And this woman, I am telling you, she used her beauty and her brains in a time when women were not allowed to sit in the Dorbar. But she used it, and she helped implement and facilitate the freedom movement in Meghalaya. And that is just, if she can do it then, when there were so many restrictions, what's stopping me from being better? So those are some of the things I learned.
Women today are getting equal opportunities, and what you said, if she could do Kaphan Nonglai, then definitely it can be done even today. What do you think is our biggest strength, and vis-a-vis also, which are some of the areas that we still need to put in an effort into?
As an Indian, I believe that our biggest strength is democratic resilience and our unity in diversity. I mean, how many countries are there in the world where after every district the language changes, after every state the culture changes? Even though we are majority of us are Hindus, but even in Hindus you will see so much of cultural diversity. But even with those diversity, we have been able to progress. And I think the most important reason for that is our unitedness, because we are united. Even though we are diverse, we are not like, okay, this is mine, this is yours. A country like India, as many famous scholars have also mentioned, that a country like India, it's a great thing for it to even exist, because with so much diversities, you have seen there has been wars based on religion, based on culture, based on tribes, but even with all those skirmishes, today we are still standing together, and I believe that's one of our biggest strengths as an Indian. I don't deny the fact that there are some kind of skirmish, especially based on religions in Hindu Muslims, but whenever there is some kind of skirmish like that, I just want all my brothers to think that there is Muhammad Rafi Saab, who used to sing the Hindu bhajans like Madhuban mein bhalle kanha kisi se peese mile, and other than that we have Anuj Rawat, who used to sing the Fatiha. So we have, even though with our cultural diversity, our religious diversity, we are one, we are Indian. That's the first thing I want to say.
Okay, you are a good singer also, it seems. All right. Another question that I would like to ask you is that, we often always wish for our rights and more rights and more rights. But as citizens of this massive, diverse country, surely we have responsibilities and duties too. What are your thoughts about this?
A very interesting question, ma'am. Rights, rights, rights. We all know about fundamental rights, but there is one thing we always ignore, and that is our fundamental duties. That is something which we Indians should focus at. And with that context, I will say there is one thing which hurts me a lot, but this is a sector where India is lagging, and that sector is civic sense. You can see nowadays everywhere person is like chewing all those tobaccos and splitting it here and there. You can see the Vande Bharat, which was introduced by our government by spending a lot of money. It's so dirty nowadays. So I believe that government, yes, it is responsible for our development, but until and unless we become responsible citizens ourselves and doesn't inculcate the civic sense, what is the use of all that? As a society, it's our responsibility to make sure that our society grows, our country grows. Because when we say India, what comes to your mind? If you ask me, we, the people of India, Indians, is what I consider as India, not this land. I mean, obviously this land also, but if I have to be specific, we Indians are what we call India. Making laws against women protection is not going to help unless we as a society can help make sure that women can safely travel around night.
Mindset change,
Yes,
right?
the mindset.
Mindset change, right. Okay, thank you for speaking to us. Now I move on to another, so you can come this side. So I would like to ask you, what are your wishes therefore for the country, as we progress ahead? What is it that you aspire for that, since now, that is the 79th year and beyond?
So as we progress from this day onwards, I wish India is more technically advanced, by which I mean we learn, we develop our own AI, we move forward in that very sector. Because if we had to compare ourselves with, let's say China, let's say US or any other countries, they are making their own AI and they are progressing massively in that sector. Now, AI is one of the technical fields, but that is not the entire part of it. I believe as youth, we should also, kind of learn or invest more into the technical governance or the e-governance, by which I mean youth of today can, directly communicate with the government in sense of whenever they have some problems, or let's say they have to communicate some issues. I believe that's a prime example of how youth of today can technically, communicate with the government. Apart from that, I wish, if I had to leave behind the technical aspect of it, I believe there's something else we should actually think about more progressively, that is unity. In today's day and age, we see how within the same geological area, we still lack unity. Like people from the north, if they go to south, we have language barriers which don't really make sense. At the end of the day, we are all Indians, but yet we face issues. I believe as we move forward, being in the 21st century, and otherwise we are advancing so technically, we're advancing so good, but if issues like these come up, they hamper the entire growth.
Take us back.
Yes, ma'am, they definitely take us back. And you just said about taking us back. I would actually emphasize on this. If we had to talk about history, if we had to talk about our kings of the past, let's take an example of Maharashtra as of today. We see how it's sad to see this, but there are people who discriminate based on your language preferences. But there was a time back then when we had rulers such as Sambhaji Maharaj, we had rulers such as Shivaji Maharaj. All of them did not think of that piece of land as just did not rule the land based on language. They ruled the land
As a country. Right?
Exactly.
They thought about the entire
Exactly.
country.
So
So what you say that unity is the need of the hour. Yes, as you said, there should be a more participatory kind of a democracy where the youth can play a more direct role.
Yes, ma'am.
Technically, as you said, right?
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much for speaking
Thank
to
you.
us. Okay. What do you think should be the role of the common man really as part of our duty to also ensure that the country progresses ahead?
As I would like to say, Independence Day, according to me, is not just a memory of 1947, but rather it's a daily responsibility for each one of us. The common man, which include the workers, the teachers, the youths, have all silently built our nations. I like to give special emphasis especially on the youths and students, as according to me, I believe we are the heartbeat of our country. We are the backbone of our country. We are the future. The country is in our future, and with our energy and ideas, we can do so many things for our country, so many things for the betterment of our country, for the development of the country, either through leadership, through technology, that is AI, or maybe simply by being informed, being responsible, respectable, participating in the democratic process of our country, that is casting our votes during elections. I believe this is what makes us a true citizen, a true Indian of this great democratic nation. And ma'am, I'd like to make a special line. I'd like to say to the youth that we as you should make a promise to ourselves that in everything that we do, we will always try to make our country proud. And everything that we do, we will always put our nation ahead of our interests. As that, according to me, is what it means to play a role as a common man, as a youth of today's India. And ma'am, before I end, I'd like to end with a simple quote. As what I'd like to say is, let's just not wave our flag only on the 15th August, that is Independence Day, but rather live its values every day. Jai Hind. Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Can you tell us briefly what does this day and how much does this day mean to you?
So I feel that Independence Day is more than just a national holiday, as we have seen through the past that countless of freedom fighters as well as the common people who supported them, they sacrificed their life because they dared to dream of a just and free nation. So for me, this day it represents unity, strength, diversity and resilience of those freedom fighters and the common people who refused to bow down to oppression. To me, this day means gratitude for the liberty that I enjoy today. As you can see that I'm standing here, I'm getting the freedom of speech to speak and express my feelings about this day. So on top of that, it is a day of reflection to remember the struggles and sacrifices that led to our independence. And now I would say that the responsibility is on our shoulder to carry on our nation, protect and strengthen it. To me, I would say that Independence Day is a kind of celebration that we have been celebrating from the past. It can also be a reflection on the present. And on top of that, it can be as a promise to the future generation. Because like stating it as a promise to the future generation, it reminds us not only of our responsibility as the students, as well as common person, as the Prime Minister, as these people in the Parliament to take action and look towards the progressing of the country, but it also lies on our hand to take forward, move ahead, unite together and work for the betterment so that later, even the future generation, they would be able to take our footstep and lead the nation forward.
Thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. What is it that you are hoping, this country will take and give you in the days ahead of you?
So as a youth myself and a young girl from Shillong, Meghalaya, from Northeast, I stand here today to speak for our nation. And as youths, we are the ones who will inherit the future of this country. We're not only the ones who will be inheriting it, but will make a change, will bring about a change. So as we step forward through the upcoming years, I believe we have more privilege and more opportunities than the generations back then. And as the youths of this generation, we are more connected, we are more conscious, and we're exposed to the media all the time. I think that's one way to bring about a change, by speaking for what is unfair. We have the right to speech, as we all know, and through this right, I think we should make it a benefit for all of us. When we see something that is taking place that is injustice, we have the right to speak. And so that's one way that the youth of this generation can bring forth a change. And as a young girl from Meghalaya, I repeat, I believe we should all make the northeastern states heard, and any other region that is under any oppression.
Okay. How would you like to see the country ahead in the years?
As we all know, one of the strengths of India is diversity, and with diversity we could also bring forth the opportunities for other people to be heard. That's one thing. And in a world where we see development in infrastructure and technology, I think we should not bat an eye to being kind to one another. In this generation, I think that's what we lack mostly, to be kind, to be heard, and to be seen. In the upcoming years, I would like to see changes with how women also are viewed. So women, when they walk in the street, to not be afraid, to have a voice and to lead. That's one of it. And the other is how we all would like to see more of the unity that we all have as Indians, to unite together and go forward with all the opportunities and developments we already have.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. According to you, what is our strength, and which are those areas that you still feel there are lacunas and therefore we need to work more?
First of all, as we see that India is a very diverse country, it is a very big country, and since the day we have got independence, and we have our country has always strived towards its development. Then with its development, and we have also paid much attention, our national leaders have paid much attention in improving in the conditions of the livelihood of the people. And then the major strength of the country, I believe, is the diversity, because if you see the west of India, the northeast part of India, the south or the north of India is very diverse, whether it is in their religion, culture, heritage, or their race, the ethnicity, everything. It's very diverse. However, I feel like the biggest strength of the country is also the biggest weakness of the country. We need to make much more efforts in it. People all over the country, we don't see that people are united with one another. They face racism. Yes, racism even today. In the West, we can see that the Khalistan movement is still prominent. In the northeast part, we can see that there is conflicts going on in certain states. In the north, people they still face racism, even in the south. So you see, even when the country is developing, we do not only want development in its infrastructure. We want the development and in the people's mindsets, and how they look to one another. Our constitution, and it tells people that we should see one another as sisters and brothers, and this is very important. We shouldn't forget this. So if we are united, even when we are diverse, we can boost our economy very well, whether it is in their tourism or whether it is in new innovations,
sectors,
new ideas, as in cultures, etc.
Okay. According to you, which are the ways and the methods you feel that we can maintain this unity, which is our also biggest strength?
As per the reflection of the constitutional values of fraternity, justice, equality, I would like to say that despite being differences in language, ethnicity, culture, India is one, because we bleed the same. No matter how divided we are based on our demographic factors or our social factors or our cultural factors, the unity is also our strength. When we say that unity in diversity, it does not mean that we are all uniformed. We reflect to our own cultures as something that we are proud of, but also we respect the cultures of others. And also, as per the progress of India, as we know that we're celebrating the 79th independence, I think, ma'am, you would agree with me that we need to look into the lives of the farmers who feeds us every day. They are still entoiled in the fields where they need to be heard. They need resources, as well as the teachers who
teaches not just in urban cities but also as well as in the most remotest cities. The government needs to see, India needs to see and see the voices of the teachers as well. And as for our scientists and engineers, ma'am, I don't think so they should be having or creating any innovation just in cities but also in the remote areas where there is no gap between the rich or the poor, because equality itself does not mean there is a gap between the rich or the poor. So that is the only thing that I want to say and reflect upon this Independence Day.
Alright, so viewers, we have not only spoken to the students, the college students of this institution, but as you can see, I'm being flanked on both my sides by the higher secondary sections, students of the higher secondary sections of St. Edmund's School. And we have here four bright students who are so eager to speak about this day today, the significance and the meaning of this day. According to you, as we celebrate this day, as we uphold this day, and secondly, a quick question also, what does this day mean to you?
Speaking about the role of the youth in let's say shaping India's future, the youth, they play an integral role in shaping the future of our nation, in shaping the future of our country. One aspect I'd say is education. Education is very important. The acquiring of skills and knowledge, and to make use of their talents, their skills, and to let not our gifts go to waste.
Right.
So to make use of each and every
opportunity that comes forward
to us.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the significance of
this day,
Independence Day to me is more than just a national holiday. Right. It is a day that serves to remind us all of the tireless effort, the dedication, the sacrifice, and the bravery of our freedom fighters. A day that reminds us all of freedom. With freedom comes responsibility as well. Responsibility as citizens of the nation and of the country as a whole. So as an Indian, I am very proud to be a citizen of this country.
The strength of our nation is its youth, and young students like this I'm surrounded with shows the strength of this country. And as I continue to speak to them, I'm being joined by another student here. And what would be your thoughts regarding how we uphold the unity, and how can we progress ahead in this country of ours?
Regarding the progress of our nation, firstly, I would like to address a common issue that I see as a student, and that is our lack of civic sense in many aspects.
Right.
For example, if you see our local markets, you would see that there's people selling food on one end, and the other end we have people thrashing and spitting on walls. And it's, although we've progressed a lot technologically in our infrastructure and also in our education, however, it seems we still lack in one very important aspect, and that is our roots in itself with our civic sense. And I believe if we need to progress as a nation, we need to start with ourselves. And our civic sense is one that can not only bring our human values of being connected together, but also uphold the country and uplift the country
even further.
Yes.
Right? Thank you so much for speaking to us. What, according to you, how do you look ahead, especially as a young girl, as a young lady to be in the near future? What is it? How do we, bring about upliftment of women, especially when we talk about in the context of women empowerment?
So for me personally, as a young girl, freedom for me transcends beyond the borders of economic or political freedom. Freedom for a girl especially is the liberty to make the right choices in our life, or to pursue our educational wants in our life, and to dive into the world of professional fields according to our own make choices. We should not be restricted from what we want to do in order for us to be able to, contribute for the betterment of the society. So freedom is also the liberty from oppressions and violence. As we all know that although our society has been developing in this field where women are being granted with various protection rights, however, in the nooks and corners of the country, still women are deprived of their basic rights. Women are being oppressed. They are being exposed to violence and assaults. So the day that women will be able to walk in the street independently and not fear about other people's judgment and be bounded by their societal expectations and do what is right, that day will
be
a true
independence
day,
especially for women. How would you like to see the country progress ahead in the next maybe a decade from now?
I'm very proud to be an Indian because this country is very diverse and we have so many potential in us. So I see this from a decade from now, I see this country developing in all aspects, be it economic, technological and socio-political and even healthcare system. Well, as we are into this AI world now, I'm so thrilled to see that India is also progressing in it, and I would like to encourage all the citizens that we should not only use AI, but we should also be one of the creators of many cutting-edge technologies, and also we should give so much importance to our mental health as we give to our physical health. We should not stigmatize each other. We should support each other, and we should be a global example of how tradition and progress can go hand in hand. Thank you.
We are also speaking to some teachers, young teachers who are part of the faculty of this institution. So I'm here with one of the faculty from Political Science Department. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So apart from the national leaders and freedom fighters, we have also plenty of regional leaders, local leaders from the state who have played such a significant role towards the emancipation of our country, towards achieving this freedom of this country. So what is the lesson that we can learn from such freedom fighters from the region or from the state that we can uphold even to this day?
Among the freedom fighter from Northeast, the one that stands out to me is Utirot Singh. Now, Utirot Singh, he teaches us to stand for what is right and to stand for justice, even in the face of strong opposition, such as the British colonial rule. And he also teaches us that true leadership, it comes from serving the people, protecting the land and making sacrifices. And he also consulted his council while making a decision making. And he also led with the support of the community, which shows democratic values and accountability. Now, another freedom fighter from Meghalaya is Phan Nonglat. Now, Phan Nonglat, she's a woman freedom fighter from Meghalaya. Okay, from Phan Nonglat, we learn that a lesson from Phan Nonglat is that she teaches us that bravery has no gender, and that even in simplicity and silence, there is always a great strength.
Tell us, because you're a young teacher yourself and you're also dealing with young students, what is therefore the role of the youth, especially as we celebrate Independence Day, and what should be their role in the future ahead as well?
Okay. So I feel that the youth nowadays, they should be more aware of the issues pertaining to the country, issues that will affect them ultimately. So they should be aware of issues regarding social justice, environmental issues that will affect them, and by understanding these issues, they would be able to build a future for India that is more bright, more encompassing of all the populations in India.
so proud to be an Indian. I'm so proud to hold my flag up high. I'm so proud to be an Indian. I'm so proud to hold my flag up high. In a world of so much suffering, let us heal the wounded gap. I'm so proud to be an Indian. Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram. Shakli Shaprang vi Poliushing Stania
Alright, so viewers, we have finally come towards the end of this beautiful program that you have just watched. We have spent a significant time here in the campus of St. Edmund's College, and you've heard the voices of the youth, the voices of the student, the voices of the future generation. Each of them had so much to speak on the questions that I have put forward to them, and they've spoken from their heart and from their mind. They definitely want a lot of progress to take place in the years ahead, and they're hopeful that change will come. But yes, we are a large nation, a diversified nation. Unity is our strength, diversity is our strength, and this is what we need to uphold and take it forward to. We hope that you have enjoyed watching this program, and thank you so much for being a part of it. Once again, wishing you a very happy Independence Day. From the entire crew of Doordarshan Shillong, we bid adieu from all the team and the technical persons behind the camera. And you take care, and bye-bye.